Hello again. We are into our second lesson on exponents, and we are doing the exponent laws for 1 and 0, and what I call the bonus rule, because it's not one that is ever explicitly shown in any textbook I've seen, but I think it's really helpful, and so I do it as a rule. So we're going to start off with talking about negative numbers, a product of negative numbers. So I want you to recall that negative 2 times negative 2 equals 4. And that negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 equals negative 8, right? And in more general terms, the product of an even number of negative numbers is positive, and the product of an odd number of negative numbers is negative. We talked about this before. It's kind of like you can pair up your negatives. So like this one and this one cancel each other out, and this one and this one cancel each other out, but you're left with one more, so it stays. Okay. So what this means for exponents, and this is the thing that students find the most difficult to remember to do. I'm not sure what it is, but this is where a lot of errors happen. If I have negative 2 in brackets to the power of 4, well, remember that means, the bonus rule. So we do the bonus rule first. The bonus rule is that the exponent affects what it's touching and only what it's touching. And in this situation, the exponent is touching the bracket. So this means that this is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which is 16. Okay? And if I had negative 2 cubed, well, my exponent is still only affecting what it's touching. And this time it equals negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which is negative 8. All right? Because in the first example here, we have an even number of negative numbers, which means our answer is going to be positive. And in the second example, we have an odd number of negatives, so our answer will be negative. Okay? But if what I have is negative 2 to the 4 without brackets, the 4 is only touching the 2. It's not touching the negative. Okay? So what I have here, I only have one negative, and then a 2 times a 2 times a 2 times a 2, which is negative 16. Okay, so those brackets are critically important. Pay attention to them. Okay, they really matter. And the bonus rule is the exponent only, or exponents only affect what they touch. All right. Okay, example 1. Let's do some examples of this. So here, I should tell you, the point of learning these exponent rules is that you don't have to write everything out. Like, you don't have to write all this stuff out every time. Okay, we're doing shortcuts. Okay, so for example, for this one, for F, I don't want to have to write that out 125 times to figure out what my answer is going to be. Okay, so let's start with A. How many negatives do I have? Well, my exponent is 2, so I have 2. So it's going to be whatever 3 times 3 is, which is 9, and it's going to be positive because I have an even number of negative numbers, or negative signs. Okay. Negative 3 to the power of 4. Well, 3 to the 4 is 81, and it's going to be positive because I have a positive number, or I have an even number of negatives. In example C, the 4 is only touching the brackets, and only the 3 is getting multiplied by itself 4 times. So that's 81, but there's a 1 negative sign stuck out at the beginning, so that's negative 81. All right. For D, negative m squared, well, I can't actually evaluate that. I can just decide if it's going to be positive or negative, so I'm simplifying it. And the 2 is only touching the m, so this is negative m times m, which is negative m squared. Okay, I can't change anything. I'm still going to end up with just 1 negative sign. That is a negative dot. Okay, this one, the 12 is affecting everything in the brackets, so I have 12 negative signs. My answer will be even, so this equals m to the 12. And on F, again, my exponent is affecting everything in the bracket, so I'm going to have 125 negative signs, which is an odd number, so my final answer is going to be negative m to the 125. All right. All right. Next page. Okay, let's look at this. 32 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2 to the 5. 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 2 to the 4. 8 is 2 cubed. 4 is 2 squared. You see a pattern here? Can you see that as the exponent is going down by 1 each time, that this over on this side is being divided by 2? Right? So what would we predict the next one would be? Well, I would have 2 to the 1, and this would just be 1, 2, which equals 2. That one seemed pretty straightforward. Divided by 2. But what happens at the next one? So if I divide this by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. And if I reduce the exponent here, this becomes 2 to the 0. So we have 2 rules here, okay? One is something to the power of 1, any number, which I'm representing with a, to the power of 1 is just that number, okay? So, for example, negative 3 to the power of 1 is negative 3. 3 to the power of 1 is 3. C is a little tricky. 3 to the power of 1 is 1, but then I have this negative sign here because remember this exponent is only affecting the brackets, right? So this answer is negative 1. This one, the m to the 1 is just m, but it's still negative because the exponent isn't affecting the negative. Okay, for E, it's negative m in brackets to the power of 1. So what's in the bracket stays the same. It's negative m. Okay, that's the answer. And this one is anything to the power of 1 is the anything. So this one is negative 32.5. Okay. The second rule that we got from up top is raising something to the power of 0, and that is that any number to the power of 0 equals 1 as long as our number is not 0 itself. Okay, 0 to the 0 is undefined. It has no value. It's like dividing by 0. You can't do it. So it doesn't have an answer. But I won't ask you that. That's just a tricky question. Okay, evaluate the following. So, well, I don't know what a plus b is, but whatever it is, if I put it to the power of 0, it equals 1. And this one, well, the a isn't changing, and the b to the 0, whatever b is, becomes 1. So this is a plus 1. On C, the A. Remember our order of operations? Good old Gemma. There's no grouping, but we're doing the exponents first. So here we did the A plus B first because the brackets said we had to. There are no brackets this time, so we're going to do A to the 0, which is 1, and we're going to do B to the 0, which is 1, so this equals 2. For D, we do what's inside the brackets first, so we end up with A times B, whatever that is, but to the power of 0, that's going to be 1. E is going to be A times, we do the exponent first, B to the 0 is 1. So if I have 1 times A, I just have A. And in here, whatever I have inside the brackets to the power of 0 is 1. Now, we lose the negative sign this time. We didn't up here, because anything to the power of 1 is the anything, whatever you started with. And here, it's 1, all right? And this one is going to be negative 1, because this time the 0 is only affecting the A, so the A to the 0 is 1, but then we apply the negative sign and make it negative 1. And then here we have some big number to the power of 0, doesn't matter what the number is, anything to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, that is it for our lesson here. The homework for this section is actually in your textbook. So you can go find your textbook, and I think it's on page 44, and the questions are listed on the front cover of the package. All right, have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye.